This is Lyric Birdscapes, an exhibition at the Jule Museum that pairs work from our John James Audubon collection with poems. In this episode, poet Nicole Sealey talks with Donika Kelly and David Baker about poems, birds, and their work commissioned for the exhibition.
How was it thinking about Audubon's problematic legacy, to say the least, and combing the museum's collection of prints and finding the print that would inspire the poems that you wrote for the spring exhibition? How was that?
Well, Audubon is a jerk. His prints are so phenomenally gorgeous, beautiful, detailed, exacting. Bird people argue about, whether he's got all the details right. Many say he got every feather the right color, and others say he took some liberties. I sort of don't care. I love the prints. When I was a little boy, I wish we were audio. Video. I have a tiny little book about 3 by 3 inches called Audubon's Books of America that I had when I was a little boy. And it's got every single one of the color plates, almost 500 of them. So it's a weirdly shaped book. But, here's to paint or to engrave a beautiful bird, he would shoot hundreds or thousands. As we know, to get the right one, and then pose it on, stuff it and pose it on wire and paint it. There's an absolute ruthlessness to that that is, in some way connected to the ruthlessness of making art, of writing something or painting something, and in order to make that object, you in some way have to remove the object itself from the world and replace it with your imitation. That's a kind of ruthlessness. And then, there's other stuff about Audubon. His family owned enslaved people, and he himself sold enslaved people in order to fund some of his expeditions. There's no way around paying attention to that.
And as he's doing this, he would also enlist the help of natives and African Americans. So it's a really weird dynamic to buy and sell humans and then enlist their aid.
Yeah.
When I was thinking about Audubon's processes and his work, I was thinking about something that I learned about the about natural history museums sort of broadly, but specifically the American Museum of Natural History in New York, which is one of my favorite. I love that museum. But the number of, there's something about that period of time, right, where the idea behind building these collections or making these engravings or, was to get the biggest, best specimen, which meant killing so many, right? So in the American Museum of Natural History, it's like, oh, here is a moose, but it is like the exemplar moose. It is like one of the biggest moose you will ever see, if you ever see a moose, and that was a part of that project, that it was extractive, right? It was extractive in the name of science, in the name of history, in the name of acquiring knowledge. And I think of the ways that I have benefited from that. I think like David, Audubon's prints have been important to me. I actually have a print of the brown pelican in my living room. I love that print. And at the same time, right? Like at the same time, it's like I do understand that history and I can't quite separate it. But the print does something to like, I mean, it moves me in a way, you know, like I can sit on my couch and gaze at this, at a nearly life-size print of this creature that I really admire and love. And it's, I mean, I think that's also so much of what it means to be alive at this time is that nothing is clean, right? Like there's no, like what I think even when I was writing my poem, I was trying to get around like, okay, I'm writing a poem. I'm not posing this creature. I haven't killed it. It hasn't been harmed, but also I flew out to the coast. Right. So, and then like, and I live in Iowa. So, and pelicans do come through Iowa, but they're white pelicans. They're not brown. I like white pelicans just fine. But it's not quite the same as being like on the California coast and sitting near the water and just like watching them, you know? And so, but I have to like, there's like the greenhouse emissions, there's, you know, it feels, it's complicated.
Yeah.
You know? So I don't know. And I tried to get at some of that when I was writing the poem, like that complication, or I wanted to move out of a space of knowing, because I do think that's maybe another thing about Audubon that I found difficult, was the way that he proclaims knowing. Like, I know where these animals live. And it's like, bro, you don't even, you haven't seen all of the places where they live. You know about this place, right? You know about this area, which is the area that, like, his knowing was circumscribed by his own ability to move about the space, right? At any rate.
Yeah, I got that unknowing, that idea of unknowing from the poem's start. For the first time, I think I'd like to come back if I believe in return. So there's already a doubling back on the statement that came before, if I believed in return. And there's a doubling back throughout the poem. Do you want to read the poem, Donika, for us?
Sure. The poem is called Plain Air, Brown Pelican, Point Lobos. For the first time, I think I'd like to come back. If I believed in return, I would like to come back as a pelican, a brown pelican, living off the coast of where I am from in this life, to fly beyond the limit of the page or frame in a line, glide to be, as I have been only recently, substantial, to know how to eat a fish whole, to have wings, to be lofted above the Carmelo Formation, the poison oak, the wave and buckwheat, to roost even, on a rock, covered in shit, everything fine. No pelicans were harmed in the writing of this poem. No transmogrification from animal to specimen, no posing them as though in flight or roosting on a mangrove branch. Not mine, the hand that hunted it, its kin, not mine, the hand that painted a Florida specimen, a Texas specimen, a hunted creature that also hunted. I say no pelicans were harmed in the writing, but during, I don't know. I need to say that more. I don't know, or I know so little. There's time or there is not, and that's fine, I think, in my smallest voice. I don't know. I meant to show you the brown pelican. Let me make a gesture with my hands. Over the water, the pelican is this big, but on that rock, only this big. When it flies close to me, I cannot spread my arms wide enough. See the guller pouch, which expands, drains. Left behind is the fish wriggling before I swallow it alive. I mean, the brown pelican swallows the fish alive.
Thank you, Donika.
Wow, that's a beauty.
Thank you, David. Thank you, Nicole. I was thinking about something you said, David, about like why poets come to, turn to birds.
Yeah.
And I think there's the song, there's the flight, there's a way of being that is so different.
Yeah.
And I am so drawn to that. I'm just like, I want to do that. That seems better. That
Well,
seems so
yeah,
much
it's some degree of magic to us, which is at the heart of the aspiration of a poem too. The not knowing. Yeah. That's such a beautiful poem. I realized that whole poem, just like Nicole said, triggers from the conditional voice right at the very beginning. If this were this, if this were this, and exists in that sort of liminal conditional. That's beautiful.
And I don't know if we've shared the poem with you, David, but it's
Oh,
also
I did.
a
It's the first time
concrete.
I'm hearing it.
Yeah, it's a concrete poem as well. So it is kind of in the, Donika, correct me if I'm wrong, in the shape of, is it the gesture with the hands or is it the bird itself?
It's funny. I like the idea of it being in the gesture of the hands, like it being this big. I was thinking it looked a little bit like the shape of California, which was not
Oh, it does.
intentional.
Yes.
But I've resisted for a long time. I had resisted for a long time being a Californian, and now I'm just an acceptance that I'm a Californian. And so I don't know. The shape itself was one. The shape of the poem was actually really helpful. Coming into the shape of it was helpful for understanding what it was that I was saying. Like when I arrived at the shape, the poem became clearer to me, like what it was that I was doing. It's sort of this.
Yeah.
There's a way that the speaker is like, here are the things that I know, and it's like, wait, I don't actually know. So let me come out of that state of like the gesture of knowing into maybe what I can show you, but not really because this is a poem, so I can't actually show you it. It's this big, whatever that means.